Hey everyone, welcome to today's thrilling moment. The cops chase smugglers, only to get squished like a sandwich at the intersection. Guns aimed at the cop cars, and one guy climbed on top to talk about a risky rooftop party. Despite shaking his head, the smuggler knew life was precious, so he handed over the goods like it was a hot potato. They splashed red liquid, lit a lighter, and left. Keaton called anonymously, bringing police and news crews. 3 days later, 2 officers were indicted. Too little, too late. Soon, over 50 cops were charged consecutively, escalating the case to the NYC police rental company's head. What a mess. Speaking of arrogance, Mike wanted Vanders, but Todd refused, afraid they'd take the cash to the beach. Then Keaton chimed in, and they hit California to toast the mastermind, the old scheme engineer. Before leaving NYC, Keaton made sure to stop by and check on his busy lawyer girlfriend, a true romantic if there ever was one. David didn't believe Keaton. He thought Keaton used his girlfriend. A little mystery didn't buy it. David insisted he'd been on Keaton's trail for 4 years and concluded he was a walking scandal. Keaton tried to clean his reputation with his girlfriend, a cold-blooded creature. Police record: 7 crimes. Every time a witness showed up, they'd mysteriously vanish. Eventually, he got thrown in the slammer and served 5. Of course, the police could never prove a thing, and believe it or not, Keaton had died once. 2 years ago, in a witness murder, 2 saw Keaton enter a warehouse before the explosion. He died in flames. But 3 months later, those 2 witnesses vanished like smoke. By the time David found Keaton, it was meaningless. David speculated Keaton was behind the cruise explosion and would reuse his tricks. Kent flashed a devilish grin. But here's the twist: the true puppet master behind this case wasn't Keaton after all. It was a lawyer. I was at that hotel. It was lively. Think I know where you were. Why would you want me to check your evidence? The DA had granted Kent immunity, but David threatened him with a lose your immunity card if he didn't come clean. Kent spilled the beans. The lawyer's name was Little Lynn, and he was certain Keaton was toast. The 5 went to California and found swaggering Redford, and the deal went smoothly like a party. Redford dropped a heavy tip about the big job, but Keaton turned it down, claiming he had a better plan up his sleeve. He mentioned a jeweler named Saul, freshly arrived from Texas with a pile of cash just like a treasure hunt on wheels. Redford wanted only Jules' cash for the 5. Saul had 2 guards, but for them, hide and seek. Keaton didn't want in, but after Mike's relentless nagging, he ultimately caved in. So the 5 spring into action again, lying in wait at the underground parking lot, surrounding Saul like ghosts. Keaton approaches Saul's car, smashes it, demands the cash box, and Saul pulls out a gun. With a bang, Mike twirled his dual pistols and took out the 2 bodyguards like a Western movie hero. Saul still refused to cough up, so Kent fired a shot and took him out. But wait, there's more. Suddenly, a newcomer showed up, smashed open Saul's box, only to find it stuffed with useless flour. What a letdown. The newcomer reached out to Redford, who immediately blamed it on a lawyer named Little Lynn, the middleman extraordinaire. Keaton, fuming, declared he needed to meet Mr. Lynn. The 2 sides left with guns drawn, instantly resembling a ridiculous Western standoff. Then, in waltzed new characters, Lawyer Lynn and Redford, making things more theatrical by the second. Meanwhile, David got a message from the sheriff. Tyrone Jack was looking for him. Just minutes ago, they brought in a translator from the hospital. They learned from a Hungarian that they were trading with Argentinians, but didn't know what the other side wanted, though it was definitely not. At that moment, they saw a devil staring back at them. Quick as a whip, Jack ordered his men. Draw Caesar sauce is sketch based on the Hungarian's description. Jack found David, revealing no drugs in the case. They planned to make a deal with the Argentine party, but no one knew the specifics, only a key player had the scheme. But whatever the case, this matter involved a great deal and had significant impact. While the 5 were in the midst of their discussion, a stranger suddenly popped up right in front of them, like a jack in the box. He looked familiar, clearly knowing them well. He came to thank them from his employer. The heist on Saul was just a test for 5. The real bosses had 1 day for a perilous task. If they could survive, they'd split a whopping $91 million. Everyone gasped at the figure. Except for Kent, who looked puzzled, clearly not knowing the guy and wondering why he was being hunted. Lyle Lynn revealed they all had past beef with Caesar Saucy, and Keaton's crew had robbed a truck. That truck's cargo belonged to Caesar himself. 8 weeks ago, Todd hijacked a truck full of weapons. That's precisely why the 5 ended up in the slammer. It turns out Todd was behind the raid on Natch's case. 8 months prior, Kint scammed $62,000 from none other than one of Caesar's lackeys. Caesar knew all their secrets. Their meeting was fated, orchestrated by Caesar. And the shocking twist? The box contained letters for each of them, chronicling all their misdeeds. The reality is, they were all just small fries simply not worth a mention next to Caesar. Back to reality, Kint told David that no one had ever seen Caesar, but anyone could be sold out for it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.